Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Orchard Report. I am your host, William Trout, and I'm excited to be alongside you talking another week of Bills football. Let's go. Again, my name is William Trout, and I will be your host on this show called The Orchard Report, talking all things Buffalo Bills. And we just got off a big win. Well, big in the sense of the score-wise, not necessarily the weight of it, but a big win nonetheless against the New York Jets in the last game at Highmark Stadium. A bittersweet moment for a lot of people. I know a lot of folks grew up going to the games, and just it means something to you. So to go out in such a good fashion like we did was just really fun, and it was exciting to watch. We got to see James Cook, as we didn't know at the time, but he did take home the rushing title, which was absolutely awesome to see, and so happy for Jimbo being able to take home that title, the rushing title, with 1,621 yards. Derrick Henry did give us a scare later in the night, but as we all know now, he did take that home. Josh was able to maintain his start streak, went in there for that one play, gave that nice handoff to James, and then was able to get out of there unscathed, which we all love to see. Orchard Report MVP of the game will be Mitchell Trubisky with 22 out of 29 passing for 259 yards and 4 tuds, looking like an absolute stud out there. I would, for my money, probably one of the better backup quarterbacks in the game, although you never really want to see him play unless it's a game like this. Just a magnificent performance out of Ray Davis, rushing 21 times for 151 yards, and then also adding on 2 receptions for 23 yards and a touchdown. He's looking really good. I think ever since he started doing the kick returns, which obviously happened a bit earlier in the year, I think that's given him an additional confidence and just a burst that you see when you watch him run the ball. And it's something that I think is very noticeable. And if we can get some of that play out of him in the playoffs when we need to spell James, I think that can really bode well for us. So overall, I think the offense played really well. We had Gabe Davis, who with a magnificent 4th down Moss type touchdown that was really fun to see. Kincaid, he only played 10 snaps, but it was good to see him get back in the flow of things. He did in those little snaps, had 3 receptions for 48 yards, so very efficient, as we all know Kincaid to be. Just wish he could stay on the field a little bit more, so it was good to see him get into play. Dawson Knox with the touchdown and hitting 200K in incentives, which is always fun to see for these players that work so hard. And then Chai Johnson on top of that gets 2 touchdowns and also hits incentives of his own, which was really cool to see. The first career sack for TJ Sanders. Really cool to see the youngster step up, and I know it's a time where you want to see how that development plays later in the season, and to see him flash and make a play was really cool. And then also Buffalo Joe coming out and making plays, thumping in the run game. He really had a presence that you could feel in the middle of that defense, so it was just really fun to see. On the downside, as far as injuries, Prater, he did make his entrance back into the game starting, but unfortunately did have to leave midway through the game with another quad injury. It looks like he might have flared up. He says that he might be able to make it next week versus the Jags, but we already have signed a kicker, which I'll get into later, so jury's out on that. And then Maxwell Hairston, unfortunately, later on in the game, he did get kind of caught up in awkwardly his right ankle got rolled up on. So not something you want to see, obviously, with injuries, but I do think he missed any major injury and will be able to play, maybe not next week, but the week after, hopefully, barring that we can get a victory over the Jags. So overall, it was a good performance from the team. 35-8, I wanted to hold them to no score, obviously, but it's a good way to close out the year in Highmark Stadium. As far as the next, as we all know, we have the 6th seed in the playoffs, so we did make it to the dance, and our opponent will be the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a great matchup. Jaguars have won their last 8 games. They're coming in hot. Ever since they traded for Jacoby Myers, the offense has really just had an uptick. Trevor Lawrence is playing super confident. They're just really hitting it on all cylinders. Brenton Strange came back from a hip injury and has looked really good for them. So they're a very formidable team. Obviously, it's the playoffs. Every team's going to be a good matchup at this point. But they're definitely somebody that we need to come in and try and hit them in the mouth. I think that's the way that we're going to try and set the tone during this game, is using our run game, using our hog mollies up front to not let them get super in the scheme, and we just, because you have a plan until somebody punches you in the mouth. That's always the famous saying, right? So that's I feel like how we need to play this game. We need to come in, lean on that running game, lean on James, and then try and hit the play action off of that, hit Dalton Kincaid, see if we can't get him, over the top a couple times, even Dawson Knox, and just really, like I said, lean on that, because that's, at this point, we need to play to our strength. We all know the outside wide receivers leave much to be desired. So I think now we try to just play to our strengths, wear them down, and see what we can do. Super excited about this upcoming matchup. Just want to see the Bills play their game. Come in. We have the experience on our hands. We've played many a playoff games under Sean McDermott and with Josh Allen leading us. So just kind of lean on that experience and just do what you can to win the game. Obviously, at this point, it's win or go home. So just pull out all the stops, I think, and I think at this point Josh Allen will prevail. So just want to see another good game. So happy to be a fan of this team, and happy we're in the dance and have a chance to take it home. Thanks again for watching another episode of the Orchard Report. This, again, will be a weekly show where we talk all things Bills. Now that we're in the season, obviously we're going to be going with the recaps and such, but as we go, post the season, we'll be talking other topics and things that relate to the Buffalo Bills. So very happy that you're here and that you've chosen this show to consume your Bills content, and just so thankful and happy to be in this space. So as always, go Buffalo Bills, and I'm so happy you're here, and until next time,